Welcome to Shelfside's board game accessories tier list, where we're gonna go and rank board game accessories. These are the things that are auxiliary to your board gaming experience, but may or may not improve your board gaming experience.
Mostly you help. Mostly.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know why I said that.
All of them, right? I think all of them. Yeah, I think all of them help.
Yeah, you know what, you're probably right.
Some that are a little too bling though. I guess that's what we're gonna die about.
Okay, well, some help less than others.
Yes.
Let's get on with the list. If you see here, we got ourselves S, A, B, C, and D. I don't like tier lists that have like a bajillion tiers, 5 tiers. That's it. B is like average basically, and it's like above average is A, below average is C. S is like super good. D is what the hell is this?
Okay.
Okay, so first on this list, baby food containers for just holding, I don't know, like tiny little like pandemic cubes or something.
Yeah, I mean they're good for like storing pieces when you put it away. Dirt cheap, by the way. You can get like what, 6 of those for $1?
I think I got 8 of them for $1.
Yeah.
Despite that though, I think I still like Ziploc bags. I don't know, something about like Ziplocs are just way more flat and easy to store in your actual games. And also it's easier to see through them because like baby food containers, they have a big lid on top and you can't see what's underneath.
Yeah, so the problem with these guys is that sometimes the lids come loose. It depends on which one you get. Also, these are definitely bigger than plastic bags in your game box. So sometimes you just won't be able to store your game cleanly because of that.
That's kind of what I was saying. Ziploc bags way flatter. I'm thinking this is a B. Like it's very average.
It is very average. I mean,
it's very serviceable, but I'm not really impressed by them.
You probably won't use it during a game itself, just more for like storing.
Really? Okay, okay. Well, that's the thing I would say it has up a leg on Ziplocs, because Ziplocs is really like annoying to like grab from all the time during a game.
Yeah.
Whereas these, you can just put them in the table and just use them to hold like your little cubes or something.
That's true. Yeah.
So
I've just never personally done that during games, but yeah, I see that. A B is definitely where it should be.
Okay, B.
Yeah. It is really cheap though. Super cost efficient.
Dice tower. This is some bling. Okay, dice towers tend to be more expensive, but they also make it really, really simple to just know like, hey, I throw a dice in it, it's not gonna bounce right over the table. Like, it's just gonna be in the tray thing there. Assuming you get one that's not like, I guess like insanely expensive, because like you probably don't need, unless you're just blinging out, right? I think it's actually a solid A tier. Like these are just something that's just like, it keeps your dice playing area very constrained on the table, right? You know where it is, it's not gonna fly everywhere. It's just a set space. More like just the dice tower, you know?
The dice tower, yeah. The thing about dice towers for me is that when you're rolling on a dice tower, it feels a lot different than rolling dice normally. You do get the benefit of it's constrained to a surface. That is your roll. There's no weird hiccups. You just drop it down the tower. It just doesn't have the same feeling for me, and that's why I never deviate towards them.
I just really like them. Like, I guess after Wingspan, I was like, dice towers are pretty cool. Huh. I would get one.
Yeah, it's something about it. It just feels much different than rolling dice normally. Like, it feels like if it's a part of the game, yes, I'm going to use it for Wingspan. But if I'm doing like...
only include dice towers, right? That's like
yeah, I guess so, yeah. But if there's some crazy combat, I don't know. It doesn't have the same tension for me. But I'll agree with A. I think there's not really anything...
Dude, because I think the tension is crazy. Like, you put it in, it's like, oh, and then it comes out the bottom. It's like, oh!
I don't know. It's just... Yeah. Maybe I haven't used it enough. I would say A is pretty good.
A. Playmat.
Playmat.
Okay, normally playmats are like you think TCGs, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever, but apparently they're also used for board games. I don't think I've ever seen that or done that really, except for it's like an Oath.
Yeah, there's been a lot of them coming out, like for example, a playmat for a gaming table, but you like sell it, you buy it individually. So then you can just put it on your normal table. Now that's kind of like a gaming table. And
they're a huge playmat.
Yeah, they're I think they're thicker than mouse pads too, right? Because you think TCGs, those are all like mouse pads.
I probably should have gotten a better picture. I think this is like a random TCG, like
I think the cool part is when they're very specific to the game, right? I didn't bring it, but we have a detective playmat, and it has like, it's like a board, but they put it as a playmat. And
I would agree with that. The Oath playmat is like sick.
Yeah, that's really nice.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But as an accessory, I think it's a little, because like, we're talking accessories, not when it's part of the game. Right?
I see.
Like, would you buy playmats to just use for most games? I said the baby food containers and the dice towers. I could see just buying that for a bunch of games. Playmat, not so much, right? You're talking about like specific games. Well, I mean, that's confined to the game itself. Like, see what I'm going through? Is that really an accessory?
I see what you're doing.
I personally feel it's like D tier. Like, I don't feel like I need a playmat for like anything, really.
It is nice to pick up cards from it. If the game is very card driven, I would like a playmat, but I never think it's necessary. I
feel like at that point, you just have sleeves then.
Yeah, I think it's C, man. There are definitely other things on this list I feel like are lower than this.
C. I think it's a D. I don't think I'd ever really use it. Okay,
yes.
Board clips. I have never heard of this until you sent it to me on Messenger. I was like, what? People do this?
I've never heard of this either. And it's like, well, why would you use this when you can just put like a phone on it or a wallet? This is like really extra. Yeah. Also, I could not imagine bringing something like this with me. Out of all the things to help a game.
Oh yeah, because you can bring these other things.
Yeah.
This is just like annoying.
It's just like, well,
I mean, you have the little box. You have a paperclip like box room. You know, it's like.
yeah. I mean, most games aren't even gonna need this, right? I think a case you use this is if your board is warped, which already that's a bad thing. Your game is damaged, or if your game just like it splits apart. But then that's kind of you being very finicky on how straight you want your board to be. Yeah, that's a solid D, man.
Yeah, this is going to be dice tray. For me, it's either a B or a C. I can't tell because like for me, dice towers is way better. Dice trays, I can't just like chuck a dice at it. It's gonna bounce off. It's gonna be like the walls of them not high enough. It's a tray. All right, that's my thought process.
I see. Well, I mean, they come in all shapes and sizes, right? So sometimes you get higher walls.
I feel like, okay, with the size thing, I want it to be confined to a certain area, which is why the dice tower is good. At that point, I'd rather just roll on the table, use my whole surface, like, yeah, and I can actually like throw the dice, and it's pretty fun to be like, watch it go like, woo!
But the reason why these exist is so you don't knock over your game pieces when you're really going ham the normal rolling motion, which is something you can't do on a dice tower.
I mean, at that point though, I just use the lid of my board game, honestly.
Well, yeah, but I mean, people also like the muted sound because you see there's like a little foam rubber pad on the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay,
yeah.
okay. So here's a strat. You put a mouse pad inside your lid. Boom.
There you go, man. You combine your.
Why would you ever buy
you
dice?
combine your playmat with your. You can put it on your bottom of your dice tower. Just use the bottom of your dice tower to roll. Honestly.
You know, yeah, the bottom of the dice tower is a dice tray. This is why I'm like, you know what, C tier.
I think it's at least a B. These are customizable in a bajillion ways. I think that's why people like them. You can like have certain slots to hold dice. I think this looks like it has like a top slot to hold your dice when you're not using them. At least a B, man.
Okay.
At least a B.
Fine.
What the hell is this?
You sent this to me.
Oh, I know what this is.
Okay,
Nice.
this is a plexiglass sheet. Plexiglass? I don't even know what this is. You sent this to me. I was like, well, okay, apparently you put this on top of your like game boards to flatten them, and it's just a big glass sheet.
Yeah, and people like them because you don't have all the ridges on your board when you're moving pieces around. Plexiglass is like posh plastic, right? It's just like a really firm piece of plastic to.
Actually,
solid.
Can you take dry erase markers and just?
I think so. Yes, but
A tier.
when would you have a need for that in a game?
War games, D&D, like.
I guess.
Dude, that's actually God tier.
We're talking about board games in general, though.
Board games in
And
general?
also, this is a pain in the butt to carry around.
Oh, you can't even like roll around.
Yeah, the whole point of it is like you can't fold it or roll it. It's just like it's plexiglass.
This is very true.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what, C tier.
It's extremely niche. C tier.
But when it does work for certain things, they're very good. Like it's kind of like the Playmat, right? Like these things like are like very niche things. D is just useless. B is like it's average, like whatever.
I think this is a lot more niche than playmats. Playmats are a lot more applicable, and you can fold them up. Oh, I'm just gonna go to
But
trunk
the
my
niche
car.
it does work on is so good. That dry erase thing is actually a huge deal.
Okay, I'm gonna go to trunk my car and just pull out my plexiglass I have lying around. Like,
Yes, this is definitely
Yeah.
that's like contained to like a board game room.
Yeah.
Okay, board game backpack. I mean, when it comes to backpacks, you can't really get better than that. So I mean, S tier, right?
I guess, yeah. I mean, it is kind of I would say it's a lot safer and you have your hands free.
Like if I knew these existed, I probably would not have just thrown a bunch of my board games into like my suitcases and when I went flying to San Diego for college. Because now a lot of my games like Den of Winter and like Game of Thrones, they just have like bent like corners and it's just like.
Yeah, my Suburbia box had like a tripod and smash it and now it has a giant hole. There's something that just is really annoying about walking around carrying more than one game stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, and these bags is perfect for just, carrying stuff. Like, yeah.
Like if it's not this like really distinct square shape, I like putting it in a duffel. But if you have like two distinct square shapes, you can't really put it in a lot of bags. A backpack's not gonna fit. Normal backpack's not gonna fit. Duffel bag's not really gonna fit. This is the way to go, or shopping bags. But
Okay,
yeah,
I mean, for what it is though, S tier, I think.
I am curious if these have side pockets to put smaller games.
Smaller games, I don't know about that. I feel like actually maybe there are bags for who knows, but this is just a picture I found. So maybe that probably exists, so S tier.
I'm also very curious how comfortable they are. Is it heavy carrying like 6 board games to your back? Is it like,
I mean,
what, 20
come on,
pounds?
dude. Back in like school for us, we have like a bajillion textbooks. Remember?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, okay, that might sound weird to you guys, but like our places just didn't have good lockers, so it's just like we
Yeah.
literally just carry everything around. It's just stupid. Okay, fleet stand. I didn't even know this existed until you messaged me, so. Apparently you just use these for your space games. So you can be like, hey, look at that. I have like my space guys there, my ground guys underneath, and you just move around as a big block.
Yeah, that way you can see the planet itself while having all your things flying above in space. So that the 3D modeling is actually working here.
Yeah, and also makes it really easy to because like normally we play TI, we just have to go like, just like
It's like, oh,
handful,
whatever,
just
man.
grab all your stuff. But I mean, the thing is, this only works for, like what you said, like TI clips. So like that's why in my brain, it's pretty niche. Even though it's like perfect for what it is, it's C tier.
I'd say at least B. I mean, there's a lot of space games out there that would just have ships.
There's
Rebellion, Eclipse, TI4.
Okay, if there's a lot there, okay, B tier.
There's a lot.
Okay, so not as niche as the Plexiglass.
Yeah, I mean, these are also tiny too. You can just fit it inside like a side bag. Dude, we should pick up some of these. I'm very curious at this point.
Okay, sand timer.
Very group reliant.
This one was a little bit, when you sent this to me, I was like, okay, I guess I'll put it in, but like, does anyone actually ever play the sand timer if it's not actually like included in the game to use as like a mechanic in the game? Like,
you know, I've said it as a joke before, but really instilling sand timers on your friends feels kind of like a jerk move.
Not only that, but to get a pompous one, like you're buying a sand timer in general use for your games. That's just the kind of what. And also another thing about sand timers that suck is that you can't like reset the time. You have to sit somewhere. Like, so why would you ever just not use your phone timer? You know, like.
I mean, if I were to use this, if I really had to, I would have 2 on hand. Or maybe different timers, right? 1 minute, 1 minute 30, 2 minutes.
Oh my! At that point, no, D tier. This is just like dysfunctional.
Yeah, but this is just kind of like, I don't think you should be using this.
Actually, D for dysfunctional. Yeah, boom.
It's functional, but it's just, I don't think it fulfills it's not like the right solution to a problem, right? Which is analysis paralysis. It's a good
The reason why I say dysfunctional is because like you can't reset the time.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta have 2,
but then at that point it's stupid.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of stupid.
That's pretty stupid.
That's pretty stupid.
That's really dumb.
Well, I think people just bring it with them when they're like, oh, I have that one friend that never finishes his turn on time. So when it's his turn, I'm gonna use this. You shouldn't really be using this seriously.
Okay, board gaming chairs. This one, I'm thinking either B or C because if you just have a board gaming table, you don't really need the chair to start having like functionality.
You would buy the table first before the chair, right?
Yeah, but at that point, you don't need the chair. And if you're gonna do a thing where you have a normal table and you have like 4 of these chairs, you could have just bought a table.
Yeah. Or why wouldn't you just get a really nice chair and not call it a gaming chair, right? Because at the end of the day, you want something that's comfortable to sit on. That's like the most important thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I'm thinking, you know what, C?
Yeah, I think it's, C. Is it like, what do you put there? Like your dice?
I don't know, like your whatever you want to put there.
That seems like such an unnecessary side. What,
like,
you're gonna put your player board so no one else can see it?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, the only thing that I can think of that's like actually a good feature on a board gaming chair is a cup holder. But you can just get gaming tables that have cup holders. So then there's no more good features you can put on the chair aside from like side desks. And then like if you have a big enough table, you don't even need those. So like
what? Yeah, I'm just very fixated on that side thing. Where are you gonna put like your dice there? That's a gigantic area to put.
You know, you've convinced me. D tier. All right, no.
Oh, okay.
Right, like just no. If you're gonna get a bunch of these, just get a board gaming table. Right, like just,
I would say like when a chair comes into play for gaming, comfort is the most important thing.
Just get some comfy office chairs, right?
At that point, why won't you just it's just a gaming chair. Like you can go to Walmart and you can buy like a very comfortable chair for $15 and it'll last you many years. Just use that, right?
I had no idea. Yeah, boom.
Yeah, just use that. Is that what I'm sitting in? Kind of like that, or from Costco?
Probably, yeah. It's like a folding chair, but it has cushions. So.
Yeah, you can't even fold these, right? You can fold folding chairs. Yeah.
All right, inserts. Basically broken token.
Custom inserts, right?
Custom, yeah. Okay. I'm thinking A tier because like for the games you actually really like and you buy these for, they're so nice because like then the inserts double as like trays for like what like you use them as deck holders, component holders when you're actually playing. You know, like they double not only as like a thing to make everything super organized, but also have functionality just like when you're playing a game.
Yeah, I do wish these were cheaper, but I do understand why they're priced up because it take a long time to design.
Yeah, like you only ever buy these for the games you love, like you know you play a bunch, right? Which at that point. I think that's a good investment, right? Because it's like, it's a game you really like, you're probably gonna play it a bunch. So like, why not? Yeah,
you save like, for some game, easily 30 minutes plus on setup and takedown. When I was younger, I was thinking, why would you spend $100 on this stupid insert? Yeah, now I get it.
It's like, just from owning Gloomhaven, I'm like, I understand.
Yeah, I get it. $100? Yeah, dude, I get it, yeah. Like, play it twice is totally worth it.
That's probably the only reason why it's not S tier, just because of price. Because like, you can't ever like have like, I guess unless you're like loaded, just all your games have these, that's kind of insane. This is only like contained to probably the games you really like, which is why it's A tier, because it's like, you're not gonna have it be as versatile God tier for everything, but then for the ones it is for, it's like really good.
Yeah, it's come to a point where if something has an insert, I'm like, dude, good decision, and also, you really like that game. I respect that.
Blinging out the games you love, like, it's just,
that's the way to go.
It just shows off like who you are as a person. It's like, I love this game. Let's play it, guys. Here, take my broken token, Trace. Sleeves.
S tier.
Yeah, I was thinking A tier. Dude, it's so annoying to have to sleeve everything. And like I only ever kind of like with the like inserts, I only ever sleeve the games I like love playing a bunch.
That is true. I mean, the cost is a factor. For example, Dominion. Oh my gosh, that's like
if you sleeve that's like
600 sleeves. But the shuffling and the longevity from it is really really nice.
This is true.
I think,
but most games you're not going to play that much and need sleeves. And also, we aren't like cavemen, all right? Yeah. Us and our friends, we wash our hands. We don't have Dorito like covered hands and whatnot. Like our tables are pretty clean too with dust them and stuff. Like sleeves. I get it if you're like your friends are just Neanderthals, okay? But like, just wash your hands. Like,
I will say for games like Resistance or BSG where you have identity cards, definitely sleeve those 100%. If you're gonna sleeve like every single card, it is a little over the top. I understand if you want to do it. Some people say they're relaxing, right? Sure, but I think what stopped us is cost and also
we have too many games.
Yeah, the cost, time, and then it's just
like if we had to sleeve every single game. Obviously, this is an extreme example. Like it would probably be like $1,000 of sleeves, something stupid, right? But like if it was like half, even then it's like 500. I'm not gonna.
Even the time, right? I'm just not gonna do that. That's
exactly,
like, yeah. Also, sometimes you sleeve your cards, they don't fit right in the box. And that is annoying.
Oh, that's annoying.
That's super annoying.
Yeah, so I'm saying A tier, because like certain games you want to sleeve, obviously, but it's just like, you're not gonna sleeve all your games, so A tier.
Yeah, like for example, Dominion, I understand if you want to sleeve it, it helps with the shuffling, but at that point, if I'm concerned about the game getting worn down, well, if I wear it to the ground, I'll just buy another copy. That's like, what, 100 plays plus? That's a lot.
All right, card holders. I don't know, these seem kind of B to me. They're not like bad, it seems very I don't see why I can't just hold your hand of cards, like, what?
Yeah, so I think it comes down to comfort and also how serious you're taking the game. If you want to just chill out a bit, drink some beer, eat some pretzels, talk to your friends, I think these are pretty good. Like Catan, right? Say you're not too focused on the game, you don't want to be holding your cards all the time. Just keep them up there. But if you're playing a game...
I never even thought about that yet. Like, it kind of invalidates sleeves even more then, because it's like, well, I mean, you can just do that, and then you're not even touching your cards, right?
yeah, but I think there's something about it. Maybe I'm not used to it, but every time I use... Oh, I got something here, right? Every time I use something with a card holder, unless the cards are small, right? Like those FFG or Ticket to Ride cards, I might as well just hold on to them. It feels pretty comfortable. My hands aren't that sweaty. If they are, I just put the cards down, pick them up when I need to.
There's one thing I'm thinking about though, is that maybe we just haven't been playing games where we have like giant hands, because like when you start holding like 6 or 7 cards, it gets a little crazy to see all of them. Which in that case, yeah, I can see you know, a card holder being pretty good, but I feel like in most games, that's not really what's happening. Like, you're not going to be holding that many cards all the time, you know? Like,
or we play games that are too heavy, so we have multiple hands of cards and things to keep track of, that this is not going to do it, like TI4. But there's, say games like Ticket to Ride and Takenoko, where the cards are small and you have quite a bit of them, I would 100% use these. I just don't like holding small cards, and I feel like small cards get dirtier faster. I think there is like some funky part of me, and maybe it's because we're from trading card games, that I feel like I lose some agency when I use these.
You can't just like shelf your
I just can't like, you know, look at them closely, and I can't rearrange them.
It's not like a bad thing though, but like that's what I'm saying, like, okay, because you said a bunch of things that make me think, oh wow, it's actually a lot more functional than I thought it was. Also, especially if you have giant hands, right?
Or sweaty hands.
Okay, you know what, you just convinced me that they're a lot more functional than maybe I initially thought, which is why I'm like, okay, if they are foldable, which means portable, easy A tier. Otherwise, I'm thinking it's just B. But okay, I'm just gonna say, there's probably ones that have better spacing design. Like you can like collapse and fold like Mount Kala boards or something, right? So if those exist, A tier, boom.
Yeah. For games like Ticket to Ride, I would say these are like 100% necessary, especially if you have huge medium hands. I think our hands are about medium, maybe slightly above medium, but if you have like big hands, yeah, those cards are just not gonna fit for you. You need these.
Okay. Iron clays, otherwise known as poker chips. I didn't even know they were called iron clays.
Iron clays are a posh version for a very specific game. Yeah, basically just poker chips for Brass Birmingham.
I mean, these may as well just be metal coins, so...
I guess so, but I think they have a more satisfying thud to them.
I like metal coin thuds more, honestly. This is like a pure vibes aesthetic thing, which is why I'm saying like, if you like it, you like it. If not, whatever, it's B.
This is B, yeah.
Super average, yeah. There's not really much to say about it. It's just like, there's heavier 1, 5, 10s. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like, mechanically not changing anything at all, not even adding any like table saving space or whatever. It's just another cool thing to hold.
Basically, yeah. If you like them, you like them. So, B tier. All right, board gaming table.
Here we go.
S tier. All right, this is something you just use for everything.
Yeah.
If you have a good board gaming table, it's like, wow, this actually changes every single game I play because we play games on a table. Like,
yes. Yeah. It's just having something dedicated where you can say, oh, I know my game's gonna fit there, duh. Or hey, I have cup holders now, I don't have to worry about stuff spilling. Or hey, there's an actual surface where I can pick up everything so I don't have to worry about a playmat.
Yeah.
It's just kind of everything in one. You have to pick something that works for you. There's the sizing, obviously the colors, but the shape. For example, what we have on screen, this is like the Cassidy table, and this is just gonna work better for more medium weight games like Catan.
Yeah, I would say light medium. Like anything that's the heavier side of medium, it's not gonna fit too well.
Like for example, our table is a 3 foot by 5 foot. It's like the Duchess. And that one is good for pretty much everything. It's really multi-use. You can whip out War of the Ring, TI4. I think rectangles generally are the way to go, but there's something about this hexagon shape this hexagon, right?
It's an octagon.
Octagon shape.
Bro, you should know. Like, look down. We are playing, or not playing, we are recording on a Cassidy.
This is an octagon.
Yeah, this is a Cassidy right now.
Yes. It does feel like, now that I'm sitting here with you, it does feel like more intimate than like a rectangular table, right?
Oh yeah.
Like think of playing like a social deduction game. You can see everyone more clearly. It's easier to reach in the middle. So
and it's a lot better than a circle.
Yeah. So again, I guess whatever fits your needs. But if you find something that works, man, it's just so satisfying. It'll make you want to play more games.
Yeah. S tier.
S tier.
Perfect.
Also, I find it very comfortable to my feet here. I don't know why.
Really, I like sitting the diagonals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I find it so comfortable.
Yeah. For reference, obviously the camera's at our feet, but there's like a plus shape like stand. So he likes to sit where the actual like leg is. I have to sit like between the two of them.
And I don't know why it's so comfortable. I feel like if I had shoes on, this wouldn't be the case, but my socks against it. It's like massaging my feet.
It's like good traction, like somehow. I don't know to describe it. It just feels good. Okay, I'm totally with him on this. Card shuffler.
These are kind of it's
D tier.
A meme.
D.
Yeah.
Easy D. Like,
They're almost never good.
If you're using a card shuffler, you're probably denting the edges of your cards. On top of that, you can just leave your cards, and then you just perfect shuffle, whatever it's called, right? Mm-hmm. Why? It's just stupid. It takes a bunch of space in your table. They're really loud, like just
really loud. They usually don't even shuffle correctly. They'll like skip cards. They don't work for every single type of card. They need a certain weight. Otherwise, if it's too heavy or too light, it won't work. These are just a joke, honestly.
Not good.
Not good.
Dysfunctional. D tier.
And you whip this out after every single time you have to reshuffle. You know how annoying that is? What if everyone had their own card shuffler?
Brrr. Yeah. Card shuffle go brrr. All right, metal coins. It's basically the same as poker chips.
Basically the same thing.
B, right?
Not as big, I guess.
I like them more than poker chips.
B, yeah.
So B. It's just like nothing to say about them. Like I actually.
Okay. They're metal, so they can make your hands smell a little funky after.
Is that really a bad thing though? Maybe.
Not really. There's a satisfying clink, I guess.
Because it's metal. You can't really like not have that.
Yeah,
metal. It's just
can't.
cool.
Yeah.
I get way more like that like fantasy D&D guy feel if I'm like doing stuff in Oath, right? I'm just like metal coins, like clink. I give to someone or like put it on the table. Like it just it just feels more just real cash money to me than poker chips. You know?
Okay. Yeah, more immersive. Whenever I see something like that, I just think of like pirates, like putting down doubloons. So
I think of like the guy who's paying the quest giving guy like paying adventures. He's like just a bunch of like
he's
just counting a bunch of coins. Like, all right, here you go. Here's your 20 gold reward. Bing. All right, next guy. Like, Wyrmwood tiles. We have them right here.
I got them right here. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is this like a thing done by anyone else, or is it just like a Wyrmwood thing?
Well, these are basically just component holders. And these are slightly more branded than usual.
Because I feel like there's not really a good name to call this type of thing. It's just like a Wyrmwood thing, right? Like,
yeah, I mean they just are a deluxe way for you to hold pieces, and this specifically has modular magnetic sides, and then they're stackable. There's a coaster on the back, which is actually pretty useful. So I think let's just talk a little more vague and say every single component holder, not just the Wyrmwood ones.
My main complaint with the Wyrmwood tiles specifically, which I don't know if it's a thing specific to like component holders, is that they're not tall enough for what I want them to be, right? Like for me, stuff just spills out of them like all the time.
Yeah.
At that point, I just rather just use like tiny little bowls from the kitchen, you know?
Yeah. But I would even say like bowls are a type of component holder in of themselves, because you can see people buying like cupcake holders.
Cupcake trays?
Yeah, cupcake trays, right? And they use those for like pandemic pieces. If we were to rate this, I would say it's a B, right? Either it works for you, you find the right one for you. Otherwise,
it's definitely not a C. It's a B then.
Yeah.
Okay, phone apps, Schwazi.
Oh, okay. Is this just Schwazi or something else? Are we talking about like Gloomhaven helper and like calculators on your phone?
Okay, apps.
Oh,
all apps.
Every single app. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, example here, Schwazi, because I see us using that like all the time. And I'm just like, how can I not put this on, right? We use our phones for so many things about board game. I'm just like, okay, that's an accessory, right? And a really good one. So I'm thinking S tier. So it's like, no matter what you need, there's a thing for it.
I mean, it's basically just a computer.
but a small one.
But a
so
small one.
If it's in your pocket, it doesn't take up space on the table.
Yeah, I need to look up rules. BGG.
And on top of that, calculator. It's really good.
Calculator's good.
What else? Yeah, like Gloomhaven Helper.
Forum searching.
What are apps out there? There's gotta be more apps we're not thinking of.
You can use dice rolling apps.
Okay, point is, there's apps for like everything. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's kind of cheating, but
It's kind of cheating. Yeah.
it's a good accessory.
But, it doesn't hurt to have your phone with you, right? You're going to have it with you anyway, so extra points.
It's always there. It's the best accessory.
Yeah.
Fancy dice. These ones are specifically metal. I guess it's kind of like more bling to me. It's just B tier, right?
It's just bling, yeah. I mean, the weight has always been a concern for me. Do you think maybe they can be too heavy sometimes, or they just made it in a specific way where it's always perfect?
I mean, at that point, just throw harder, right? Some people just want to be able to just like yeet their dice more without having it go flying, and metal dice are perfect for that.
I will say for some games like Eldritch Horror, we talked about this in high school, we would really want a die that had the successes be like certain symbols, right? Make it feel more immersive.
But again, that's just like cosmetic, just whatever, right?
Yeah.
So. The thing is though, there is some functionality here that can be had if they are, what do you call it, like roll down dice?
Spin down.
Spin down, yeah. Is that like I feel like I don't really see that many spin downs online. They're kind of hard to find aside from those like Magic the Gathering ones.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to find, but also they're mostly used for Magic the Gathering anyways.
But like spin downs are such good counters. Like I'd much rather would have spin downs than have like a bunch of cubes on stuff.
Yeah.
Tainted Grail taught me that very hard. Oh my god. I just use spin downs on everything on that game.
Yeah,
Like, it's so good.
Card games in general have made me realize like, well, I don't need all these tokens in the game. I can just use like D6s and put 1s and 2s, and that's way cleaner.
But that's the thing, like, okay, so do we classify spin downs as fancy dice? Because if so, I want to put in A tier actually, because spin downs are just actually that good. Like,
There are fancy dice, yes.
Because you can use them as dice, and as like probably the best counters.
I will say that my friend warned me about using spin dice as actually like for rolling, because apparently the probability is wrecked. It's not quite an even spread.
Really? I don't know how the. I thought it doesn't matter. If you're just rolling, it just goes. Like if you're just putting a spin down, right? If you just take your favorite spin down die, okay, obviously I know the numbers are next to each other, whatever, right? You put into a dice cup, just like how is this not random as hell? You know,
maybe if you roll it very furiously, right? But I think
if you
just roll it like very well.
If you're just being dumb and just like, oh, duh, just throw it. Like you can't do that, but obviously you have to just go like this.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have a dice cup, right? Just
I think it's because of the fact that the numbers are close to each other, right? So if you like have a certain number, you don't roll it well, you're very likely to get a similar number. But
just roll the dice better.
If you're randomizing it really well, then it should be fine. But I think for the lens of this discussion, now that we bring it into using it as custom counters, it is A.
Yeah, because you can use them in all your different games and stuff, right?
Yeah,
so it's like,
I guess so, yeah. But if we're talking about like just blinged out dice, this is definitely B. But if you use it bling out dice for not just rolling, but for every other use for keeping track of stuff, it's A.
Okay, Ziploc bags. You know what? I think it's A tier actually. It's just better baby holders for most things.
In terms of,
because you can use it for cards too.
Okay, in terms of like actual plastic bags for games, I don't think the Ziploc brand is good, but Ziploc bags in general are good. I have a problem with these ones, like the sandwich looking ones for games. It just makes me feel weird.
Like oh, this is food now.
I'm like, wow, this is like food, or like, why is it so secure? This is not food. It doesn't need to be spill proof. Or actually the ones with holes that are for games work a lot better for storage.
You can also just make your own hole. You
can make your, but I mean, you're modifying the accessory in an easy way. But
it's so easy though.
Easy, yeah.
It's like nonsensical. Like what?
I do like plastic bags a lot. Something about these are just a pet peeve of mine in terms of like the coloring. It says Ziploc on it. You see it from the dollar.
Okay, wait, just plastic bags. Just ignore Ziploc.
Okay, plastic bags.
I know I got a Ziploc example. This is the first thing that happens if you Google plastic bag. Right?
Okay. Yeah, give me the thick ones with the nice single zip, and yeah, A.
Because like, okay, here's the thing. If you're not gonna get inserts, like custom inserts for your board game, like plastic bags are just the best thing to have. Like just straight up. I can't think of a better thing to organize and hold your like pieces, right? Because you can label them, you can punch the hole in them, you can put cards in them, right? Yeah. The only thing that I have a problem with is that when you're actually like playing the game, you can't really use the plastic bag as well as like, component holders, like the baby food canisters, because you have to reach in and pull stuff out. That's annoying. Yeah. But for pure storage, they're god tier, okay?
Okay, yeah. Also, my friend showed me a strat. You put like plastic bags within the plastic bags to organize games.
Oh my god, I didn't think about that.
So if like you have a certain faction and you have like a bigger plastic bag for everything, and you divide that faction's piece into smaller plastic bags, you put those all in there.
Maybe it's S tier actually, right? It's like literally the best thing for storing stuff. Like what else beats a plastic bag if you're not going to put inserts in your board game? Nothing, right? It's cheap, it's flat, fits everything.
I guess so, yeah.
That's so universal. That's S tier.
Yeah, I mean, we do complain a lot when there's no plastic bags in games.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, deck holders. I didn't even know this was a thing until you Googled it. I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah.
why not just use deck boxes? I'm so confused. What?
You just want your stacks to be perfectly straight when you're playing the game. You don't want spillage. This is like the most bling thing ever. I wouldn't say it's dysfunctional, right? Because
Well, usually, okay, most board games, you have already discard like piles that are like marked on the board itself. Or you have something on your player board that tells you where to put your cards or whatever, right? Like, so what games would actually use this? I cannot think of one on top of my head. And on top of that,
Dominion? Ticket to Ride? Isn't this Ticket to Ride?
is it?
This is Ticket to Ride, yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't played Ticket to Ride, but here's another thing. Okay, it's not that universal because of what I just said, right? Like a bunch of games, you just probably don't even need to use them because
Yes.
you know there's marks and spaces where you want to put your cards anyways. So at that point, if it's a game you really like, just buy a broken token insert, and they have things that hold the cards that may as well function as deck holders. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not wrong, right? Like
That's true, yeah.
Broken token, right? A lot of their stuff, you can basically use it as like modular component holders because that's essentially what they still are when you're storing stuff. When we're at like our friend's house or playing like Scythe, we use those like broken token things to hold like pieces all the time. And if they have things that hold cards, that's literally what the deck holders are.
Yeah, it's just kind of like the same thing with Broken Token. You just get it for a game you really like, right?
Yeah,
But at that point, I guess you just get
inserts
Broken Token.
better, yeah. Like
Yeah.
what? Because then you're gonna get this and yeah, I don't know, a bunch of Ziplocs or something, right? Like it's kind of.
I'm looking at this. Ticket to Ride. Those cards are small, so you're not going to be able to use these for like Dominion. So essentially, you have to have different sets for different games, which is kind of. This is even marked, right? So I can see if you're really, really picky wanting these. So I think it goes under that C tier, man. It's not dysfunctional.
This is true. Okay, very niche. All right,
Yeah,
see.
it's very, very niche.
Okay, minis.
I thought we were talking about stuff not included in the game.
Yeah. But
So you're talking about like Kickstarter bling that wouldn't initially be in the game.
yeah, like minis that are auxiliary to games. Like some people just have a bunch of just excess like D&D minis or whatever for not only D&D, but I don't know, if you're playing board games that like have stand-ins, it's like, well, I have my own minis. I'm just gonna put them on. Like,
Well-
okay, extra minis is it is an accessory. Okay, like
Yeah.
and like say you got like accessory. I don't know, like you just have minis that you just got for like Arkham Horror or something or Eldritch, right?
Oh, I see.
I feel like this one goes in B. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
It's just like a nice thing.
It's just nice to have. It really is. What is nice about like if you have a mini that's kind of part of the game, like Tainted Grail, it's like it's branded, but it's not from like a third party. It holds its value really well. And that's a nice thing. Obviously, it doesn't have to do anything with the gameplay, but B it is.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely want to be one of those guys and like, I just have a D&D collection of just a bunch of minis, and we play a bunch of board games. It's like, oh, we need skeleton guys. They gave us like skeleton tokens. Well, I got a skeleton mini,
Yeah. That's like Tom Vassell.
I mean, that is also insanely expensive and not neat at all, but it is really cool to also B tier.
It is really cool. Yeah. Also, when they're painted, oh, this is so much better. Painted.
Okay, dice cup.
We might have some breaking opinions on this.
Really, because I think this is easy A tier. Like, obviously, it's not really needed at all, but
Yeah.
like, dude, okay, the thing that makes it actually gives it more functionality to me, right, over to just going like this with your hand, is the fact that you can take your dice, right? I'm just gonna do a nice demonstration.
Demonstration?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Like you go like that, and you just lift up, like boom.
Yeah, I mean, it randomizes more for sure. And it's probably less messy.
Yeah.
I just think it doesn't have like that like grab that will make you want to use it. It does feel kind of the same lens as the dice tower, right?
Yeah, that's
It
what I'm
kind of
saying.
feel the
A
same
tier.
thing, yeah.
It's also way more portable than dice.
It is
tower.
way more portable, yes, and a
It's
lot
like
more useful.
One of the things I was saying about dice tower is that it gives you a nice confined space that you know your dice are gonna be like stuck to. With a dice cup, you literally just like you know like just where you put it down, that's
Yeah.
where it is. Right? I mean, you can still just like just throw the dice, right? It's totally fine. But I think the slamming is what makes it actually gives it the function.
I see. Do you think you could ever like play a game and just be like, oh, I want to roll in here and see what happens?
You're a monster. Why would you ever? I guess you could. Like, okay, if you're a degenerate, you go like this, and then like, oh, that's my result.
It's like, oh, that's my result.
But
yeah.
okay, you want your table drawby. You want to just throw it somewhere, and someone, everyone can see it and be like, oh, he rolled that. Like, whoa.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess it's the same lens as the dice tower for putting that in A. This goes in A. I don't really like using them. I don't know why. Daniel really does though.
I like dice cups and I like dice towers. They're great accessories. Fight me on this. Last on our list, we got Plano Boxes. S tier.
No, they're not S tier. They're not S tier. They're not. They're
Like inserts, but better.
But they're not though. Sometimes they don't fit in your box well.
But
Sometimes
there's a bunch of different sizes. You
There's
just
a
get the right one.
Sometimes a lot of wasted space. Sometimes it doesn't look that good.
You can research. You can go online and be like, okay, I need specifically these dimensions. I need this many slots.
Yeah, but
There's a Plano box for it.
what about like you can't, it's like sometimes hard to grab pieces from them, or stuff will like get jumbled around when you're walking around, when you're moving the box around.
I have never, what kind of Plano boxes are you buying?
This is the same brand as yours, Plano. It's the brand, Plano Boxes. Plano, that is the brand. Sometimes like
I have
pieces
never
will move
had
around.
them move around.
I have had many pieces move around.
What is wrong with your boxes?
They're the same brand as yours. It's gotta be the same thing.
What the
It's gotta be the same thing. Yeah, they're all.
Am I insane?
Yeah.
I have never had this issue of them moving.
I'm sure people have had this issue.
This is why they are in slots, so they don't move around.
Yes, but sometimes the slots do let cardboard slip under because they're designed for fishing tackle, not cardboard pieces.
But the lid, you close it and it can't go up,
I
so it doesn't
know,
move.
but I think it slides underneath those dividers, and I'm using the OEM dividers.
I have never had this issue.
I have had this issue many times. Maybe I'm buying older generation ones, I don't know, but
Actually, I do remember this. I remember when I was using your Eldritch ones, they would slip up all the time. The ones I have, they go in like really nice and snug. You have to like kind of pull them actually get them out.
Yeah, maybe it's just a newer Plano. I haven't bought a Plano box for years and years, so maybe they are just better now.
Yeah, I think yours ones just suck. Like, there's just no way that's normal.
It's the same brand, man. I guess they just improved their R&D at Plano.
You got those like what, like 10 years ago? Like, come on.
7 years ago? I mean, that's the thing. Durability, right? They do hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel very confident grabbing my Gloomhaven Planos, just slam them everywhere and be like, all right, everything inside's organized. Probably the only exception is if you hold it upside down and keep shaking it, like for an extended period of time, probably, I guess, because then like making it so the roof of it, since it's plastic, is bending a little, so then you're letting the sliders have a little more space to like come out, but like.
I've never been violent with them though. That's
Like who's gonna just store their play boxes upside down and shake it? Like that's what, no one, right?
I think what would put Plano in S tier for me is that if they came in more different sizes.
There's like 5 different sizes. I got
you
3.
can't get the smaller ones. They're all reasonably big.
I got 3. I got tiny ones for my Gloomhaven ones too. Like what? The ones that are like this big?
Show me right now.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not convinced. Oh my god, the recording cut.
Look at this. Look at this. This is not even the smallest one. This is a small Plano.
I think they definitely improved the design. Because look, it doesn't look like it's gonna spill at all, but these are not the ones with dividers.
Yeah, the small. Okay, this is our thing. Small ones don't have dividers usually.
Yeah.
But even then, the dividers I did get were really good. They're pretty snug. Like this one, I would even trust going like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big ones you probably shouldn't do that. But that's not really what's gonna happen with them all the time. So I think this is like just as good as Ziplocs. Okay, like they're so good.
They're not as space efficient as Ziplocs.
They fit into games so cleanly if you do your research and buy the right size ones.
I guess sometimes you have to do some theory crafting of your own. With the
Yeah, that's what I was. Okay, I will admit it probably is more of a pain in the ass to do because when I was doing my Gloomhaven stuff, I was like, I gotta look at these measurements. Okay, I need like 60 piles. Yeah. But it's so organized. It's so good. It's so good.
I don't know. Like if we compare it to Broken Token, like okay, Broken Token is better, right? It just costs more.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
So
but these are cheap.
Yeah, these are dirt cheap. But not as good for storing your pieces, which is why I think they should be the same tier as Broken Token.
You know what? You know what? Fair enough, because there's a little more work.
Yes.
And also Ziplocs are way more labelable.
That is true, yes.
Because like, I'd hate to write on this and then like say what stuff is, because when you open it, you would have to write on the other side too. That's going more above and beyond, right? With the Ziploc,
yeah, it's more
plastic bag, you just get a Sharpie, like, duh,
that is
what
true.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do think is very close to being S tier, right? Like, Planos are so good.
It is close, but it's not quite there. It's not quite there. I'm not convinced. It is A.
Like, no, we're putting it here, all right? Screw you. It's bordering.
I mean, the cost, it is really dirt cheap. What is it, like
it's
$3?
so dirt cheap.
$3 for
this was
one?
like, like $2 or $3. The big ones are like 5 or 6 or something like that. There's like even insanely big ones.
But then again, compared to plastic bags, those are even cheaper.
This is very true.
You can get like 100 for $5 or something, right?
But you never have to worry about these like tearing.
Yeah, those won't break. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm okay with
borderline.
A plus, whatever, yeah.
All right, this is like as close as you're gonna get to an S tier for an A tier, okay?
Okay, now for me to go back on the side of Pro Plano, yes, they make everything so much easier once you get the system down. It's like just so much easier, just okay, grab this, component U, go on there.
I mean, also this you can just put it on the table and everyone's like, all right, you need damage counters, like boom, like.
Yeah, I need to get one of these, man. This is a good size. I have something just like this from my sister, and it was like repurposed for some like dental thing, and it's really hard to fit your hands inside. This is really nice. Did Plano know something's going on here with the whole cardboard thing? Do they know? I'm very curious. I'm genuinely curious how much of like their sales come from dudes just walking into Walmart and picking it up for their game.
Well, I mean, this is also a thing that probably, like, it's a quality thing that helps fishing dudes too. There's no reason not to just have a bunch of different sizes and like modular tabs that like don't mess up.
Yeah. But like, say you're going fishing. You need maybe like 2 of these, a big one, maybe another box. But that's it. But if you're a board gamer, you're buying a lot more of these. You're buying so many of these. So Plano's like, yeah, sure, I'll just take your money, right?
I mean, it's also, I think people use it for sewing also, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess it makes sense for like needles and like little spins of yarn.
Also, I'm pretty sure painters use it too.
Oh.
Under like these like crushable pallets you can like use for paint, but like some people just put them in planos.
Wow. Dude, Plano knows what's up.
I mean, it doesn't have to be for fishing. It's used for literally anything.
Yeah. Like any hobby thing, right? Small
that
hobby.
has like a bunch of like knickknacks you need like organized into little cubbies. So, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason they're good. They're
good.
used for so many things, not just board games.
Yeah.
How is it not S tier? What's wrong with you?
No, it's definitely not S tier.
You are just scarred by your terrible experience. Alright, you have a problem.
No, it's not. They're too space inefficient, man. Sometimes you put it in your box, it doesn't close. Like you have to have it in a very specific way. Maybe I'll get swayed in the future. Someone help me out in the comments. I don't know.
Buy more planos, alright?
Buy more Planos. They are stepping up.
Do your research and then buy planos and watch as it all fits in perfectly.
Yeah, after using my tape measure to measure my box dimensions.
Most boxes you just know they're a foot. That's what the standard dimension is. Like, what the?
I feel like asking a little above and beyond if it's not specific to a game. Like, okay, I have Gloomhaven. I'm not gonna measure dimensions in the box like we did for that video. I'm just gonna buy a broken token, right? Isn't that a lot more ease of mind?
This is true.
A plus.
Okay, you know what? Let's end the video. All right,
yeah.
Actually, before I end the video.
Wait, one more thing.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
GTT?
GTT?
GTT. Game theory tables. So, you may have noticed that this whole time we've been filming on this very, very nice table. It's a Cassidy table. So this is the topper, by the way, you might have noticed. Yeah, underneath there's actually the board game side. So, let's check that out, shall we?
And go.
Whoa. Because this is a redo, by the way, because we filmed this like a week ago, and then as I was editing, be like, oh wait, whoops, this is out of focus. I can dual-wield bottles. One is for my booze, the other is for my water. Okay, but yeah, let me just pack up this Tainted Grail stuff just real quick. It's kind of just chilling there. Don't mind the spoilers. But yeah, there you go. Look, that's our logo. Look at that. That's so cool. Custom-made stuff. You can ask Game Theory Tables to do your own custom print if you want to. So, yeah. I also probably noticed, like, look at this. Like, ooh, we got these cup holders. Boom. Yeah, very nice. There's 8 of them, all right, because this table seats 8 people. It is an octagon. On top of that, there's 8 little slots for putting in your stuff. Very cool. I will warn you guys, though, that even though this table, very, very nice. Very good for your lighter games and also probably your, like, lighter to medium games. Anything beyond that, might have some trouble seating those, but for what the table is for, you know, card games, smaller games, very, very good table.
Very comfortable. Go back to standing up.
I
was trying to demo.
You sat down, very comfortable. I'm gonna stand back up. This is my character board. Doesn't even fit in these little sections here. Like, so games that have like a character board or like a player board, whatever, right? You have to put them in the middle here and then, you know, get a lot of space afterwards. That is the problem with it. In those cases, I usually just play with the topper on, which I guess kind of defeats the purpose of the board game table, but, you know, it still works for me. But just a fair warning for you guys, because I do want you guys going in, getting this table if you truly are interested and know that it will be right for you.
Couple more things. The bottom is actually really nice. I'll cut some footage of me rubbing my socks against this thing, but there's a lot of legroom. There is a lot.
Yeah, I could honestly see seating 8 people here is actually not even gonna be a problem. Like, it's actually pretty nice.
It's very secure. It's like a glossy finish. Feels great. It's like massaging my feet. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Well, for the actual playing surface, this is water resistant, and it's kind of like the normal playing mats you would get, but even more premium. No sound. No sound at all.
Ooh. But yeah, link down below in the description with the GTT link. You wanna buy a Cassidy yourself? It's right there, bada bing.
Okay, big shout out to our patrons. We're gonna two-head this, I guess.
This is gonna be weird. All right, let's go.
Right.
We got Rado, Dot, Alvin, Yu, Basper, Brad, Bradley, Brian, Charles, Charlie, Peg, Codename 1, Colin S. Allen.
Codename 01.
Oh, wait, I'm like going ahead of you. Colin S. Allen, Dylan Neber, Ethan Parks. It's Ethan Parks.
Ethan Parks.
You said Ethan. Who? Josh Jackson.
Josh J.
Manuel Yu, Grillin, Max Bakery. MY, Omar Filmerson, Ryan Jackson, Vamsi Kaladindi, Brett M, Clifford Eden, Galvin V, Jennifer Liu, Jeremy Miner, John Chu, Peter Alzellen, Quentin Scheller, Reiner Zwart, Ryan Doyle, Simon Griffiths, Simon Griffiths, Sophie Charlotte Schubert, Spinner 71, Tiamo Loves Games, Travis Romani, Aaron White, Hudson Tuller, James Marson, Amy, Jeff Lee, Tyler, and Z. Thank you all so much. Patreon link there. Support us. That was probably unbearable to listen to.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Tyler's name went over there.
Huh?
Yeah. There.
Tyler.
He requested that, yeah.
Tyler's name's over there.
Time for outro. Do whatever you want.